25th October. Today's 25th. Doing Bhagavad Gita overview, chapter 1. We finished the first section last class. I'll do a quick recap of that. Just a little bit reminder of how the sections work. Okay? Feels good. Yeah, we finished the first section last Thursday, and we had conversation between Dhritarashtra and his secretary Sanjay, and then a conversation again with Duryodhan, and do you remember? Duryodhan was having a conversation with Dronacharya. All these. So we have these. The acronym for chapter 1 is doubt. Right? Spiritual life begins with a doubt, isn't it? It begins with what is the purpose of my life? What is this all about? What is this phenomenal world about? And why am I troubled? And it really begins with a question. So we have to enter the shoes of Arjun to understand what Bhagavad Gita is all about. And Arjun went through the same problem. He went through uncertainty. He went through bewilderment. Yeah? And these two sections are a little bit of setting the scene. Gives us a whole preview of how this Mahabharata happened and everything. It reveals Dhritarashtra's mind. It reveals Duryodhan's diplomacy, his tactics, and everything. So from 1 to 12 we are done. We have to start 13 to 20. So same way we read through all the shlokas and we come back for elaboration. So verse number 13. Anyone needs a Gita? The last verse what we did was verse 12, where Bhishma blows the conch shell. That's right. He blows the conch shell and he shows Duryodhan that this conch shell is a symbol of Vishnu originally, and apparently Vishnu, who is none other than Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is sitting on the opposite side. There's absolutely no way that you can win this war.
Who says that?
Bhishma doesn't say it, but while playing the conch shell, it's a symbol of this statement. Every good karya or any good activity in Vedic life is begun like aartis. They begin with a conch shell. Before entering a new house, they blow a conch shell. Right? So all these things are important. So here the first omen, because we are entering the second section of chapter 1. So here the first omen or bad omen for Duryodhan is the conch shell, which is blown by none other than Bhishma, greatest warrior present there. So we go through 13 to 20 and we come back. Tataha shankhaschcha bhairyascha panavanaka gomukhaha sashabdastu mulo bhavat. Translation together, start. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets and horns were all soundly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Next. Tatah shveter hai lukte mahati sandane sthitau madhavah pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradadmatuhu. Translation. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadhattam Dhananjaya Pondram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Translation start. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. 16 to 18 is a marathon. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Subhosha Mani Pushpakau Kashasya Parameshvasaha Drishtadyumno Viratash Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha. Yeah, the question is where will you put your chair? Come here, na? I'll be standing in the class and just stand. Sit this side. Yeah, you can shift this here so that Millie can sit properly. I'll shift that here. I'll shift out of the class. I have one case. Somebody else is coming. There is? I don't know. No, I doubt. Yeah, I think it actually was good. Ravi, Drishtadyumno? Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashah Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankhan Dadmu Prithak Prithak. Chapter 1, verse 18, 16 to 18. The translation is big. Can we start reading? Start. The son of Devi blew his conch shell and Nakula blew the Subhosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Two more. Saghosho dhartarashtrana Hridayani vyadarayat Nabhascha prithivim chaiva Tumulo bhyanunadayan. Translation. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Last verse for this section. Atha vyavastitan drishtva Dhartarashtran kapidvajah Pravritte shastra sampate Dhanur udyamya pandavah Rishikesham tada vakyam Idam aha mahipate. Start. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of the Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna spoke Lord Krishna these words. Right. So, it's just about to begin. Arjuna is going to speak the first words. So we start with verse number 12. So after Bhishma blows the conch shell, then what happens? Verse number 13. Tatah shankascha dhairyascha panavanaka ghomukaha sasaivabhyahanyanta sashabdastumulo bhavat. Together. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Tumulo, that word. Sanskrit word is the English word is tumultuous. Hare Krishna. Sorry. Please come. I think this one. Started on time. So here what happens? The whole trumpets and bugles, they were all so tumultuous, and Mahabharata reveals the epic Mahabharata. The Gita is a part of it. The 700 shlokas are part of the huge Mahabharata. So in the Mahabharata it is revealed, Vyasadeva writes that this whole sound was so tumultuous that people in the heavenly planets could also hear it. And they all were waiting, they all were watching and looking. Now there's a whole fight in this entire planet Earth. And Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is present on the side of his devotees. Now what's going to happen? Because both sides are so strong. Next shloka, verse 14. Tatah shveter haer yukte mahati sandane stitau madavah pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradadmatuhu. Translation. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. So here, it's a great chariot because this chariot was donated to Arjuna by Agni. Agni Dev, he donated his personal chariot to Arjuna. So it was such a glistening chariot. And then the Lord, whose blackish complexion, he was sitting there, it was looking so beautiful. At the cover page of the Bhagavad Gita, you can see this picture, it's so beautiful. Verse 15. What page is it? Small book? Sorry, small book. Anyone has a small book? First chapter, verse 15, 1-5. So you can maybe check here, this section. Yes. So, 1.6. Yeah.
So these verses are being said by someone, or when we see the Bhagavad Gita?
Vedvyas is writing these verses. He's saying it and it's describing the whole setting. And then from chapter 2.2, Krishna actually speaks. But before that, we have to understand why he's giving this knowledge. We have to understand what Arjuna is going through. So the main Gita starts with Dhritarashtra speaking. And because his mind reveals the entire history of this Arjuna's dilemma. That's how Krishna comes to help him. That's why he is so desperate. Now, unless we are not desperate, we can't understand spiritual life. It's very go easy, or maybe it's just for a feel-good factor. Now here we're trying to go into Arjuna's shoes. We're understanding what Duryodhana has done to him, what Dhritarashtra has done to him, and now he's not ready to fight. We'll be seeing this from this section onwards. Here we're coming to a point where he's going to see the entire view. That who all are standing and all these things. So we're just understanding. Which book do you have with you? So I'm not very sure.
It's not the ISKCON.
Yeah. I'll just get one.
Can you give me the big book also?
Yeah. बड़ा book चाहिए एकदम मेरा सीट भी गया. More than 12 question. चलेगा शायद. 2 एक्स्ट्रा होंगे. एक और चाहिए, एक नया चाहिए. This is one second, because we'll be reading and I'm not sure if the translation is exactly the same, and the purport I'll be. It's different. The purport that I'll be reading from, then you'll be a little lost, because Prabhupada, what he does is he refers from Srimad Bhagavatam, he refers from other Upanishads, will not be here. So, I want everyone to read. Is it okay? No? Yeah. You can take this. We'll be doing more from the purpose from chapter 2 onwards, so then you will really need this book. Verse 15? We did 14, I said white horses, and they sounded their transcendental conch shells. So each one of them has their own conch shell, and the conch shell has a name. Like the name of Arjun's bow was, does anyone remember? Gandhi. Yeah, everyone had a name. It was very personal. Come. Yes, we'll make things. Okay. One second. I think I gave one chair outside.
Take this. Take this.
You can sit behind this thing. Okay. So it's just one class, it's going to be like that.
I think that is perfect. The door will not be free because
and no one's coming in.
Can we do the 3-3 because this is like, can we do it like in a line?
I actually did 3-3.
2 minutes for us because it's for the back.
Last evening actually we were setting up like that and all the chairs were not fitting in. Yeah, we did it. Because then we'd have to keep one distance for people to go in and out also. We figured it out last evening, we were doing this. Verse 15. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Pondram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha. Translation start. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his Devadatta, eater,
blew his terrific conch shell
called Poundra. Yeah, so Krishna's conch shell is Panchajanya, Arjun's conch shell is Devadatta, Bhima. He blew it so loudly because he's really eager. What was his conch shell's name? Poundra. 16, 17, 18. Again. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sughosho Mani Pushpakau Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Drupado Dropadeyascha Sarvashaha Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankhan Dadmu Prithak Prithak. Translation start. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sadev blew the Sughosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. So here you can see all generations together. Why so many names are given? Because there are so many generations. Their grandfathers, their children, the children of children, the grandsons, everyone is together. All of them are one after the other blowing conch shells. So we have Yudhishthir, we have Nakul and Sahadev, the youngest, the twins among the Pandavas. Then there is the king of Kashi, the Shikhandi. The Shikhandi was responsible for the death of Bhishma, because in his previous life he was a girl who later on became Shikhandi in the next birth, and he was born to kill Bhishma because he had a revenge from Bhishma. And then Drishtadyumna, we know, is the brother of Draupadi, and then Virat is the father of Uttara. In the 13th year, where the Pandavas had to go incognito, the 13th year of exile, they had to hide. They were hiding in the kingdom of Virat, King Virat. So this is that Virat. The unconquerable Satyaki. Does anyone know who's Satyaki?
The charity of Krishna.
Yeah, he's the commander-in-chief of the Sena of Krishna in Dwarka. So he was also very powerful. The commander-in-chief had left his army to the Duryodhana's side, and he himself switched to the side of the Pandavas. He had never lost a fight. Satyaki, he had never lost any fight. Very powerful. And Drupad, father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. The sons of Draupadi, 5 sons of Draupadi. The others as Abhimanyu, the son of the Subhadra. All of them blew their conch shell. Now what was the effect of the conch shells of... Now we heard that the conch shells were blown also from the side of Duryodhana. And so many conch shells were blown from the side of Pandavas. Now there was no effect, apparently nothing is given when Bhishma and the others blew their conch shell. What was the effect is in the verse number 19 we see when Pandavas and their side blew the conch shell. Especially Krishna, he blew his conch shell. So what happened? Saghosho dharta rashtrana Vidhayani vyadarayat Nabhascha prithvim chaiva Tumulo bhyanunadayan. Start translation. The blowing of these conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Yeah. So what happened? Shattered the hearts. In fact, in Mahabharata it's also revealed that the animals, there were horses, there were elephants, the cavalry, and they actually passed stool and urine, hearing the shattering conch shell of the side of the Pandavas. So it was like a earth shattering, it was heart shattering, and there were so many warriors who fell off their horses, fell off their elephants. This all is there in Mahabharata when they heard the sound of the conch shell. Even when you hear it in the temple, some pujaris really blew it loud. Some actually, in pregnant ladies, they don't have to be very close to someone blowing a conch shell because it just kind of gives you, jhatka. So here, that jhatka was so loud that warriors fell off their chariots, they fell off their elephants, they fell off their horses. Now these are warriors who won so many wars. For them to have such, they used to. It's like our husbands going to office every day. It's like a normal occupation for them. It's their profession. For them to fall off like that is like quite humiliating. Right? So here this is happening because this is not an ordinary fight anymore. So verse 20. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva Dhartarashtran kapidvajah Pravritte shastra sampate Dhanur udyamya pandavah Rishikesham tada vakyam Idam aha mahipate. Start translation. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Now before Arjuna starts speaking, what were the good omens as we were describing? The ominous results. First one was the conch shell, then there was the chariot given by Agni, right? And then there was Madhusudan, there was Krishna himself. Is it here? I think he refers to Krishna as Madhav later, no?
12 is his senses, no?
Rishikesha, yeah. Rishikesh himself. And then the flag marked with Hanuman. There's also a story actually that when they were in exile, Bhima, when he wanted, the thing was, Draupadi, she found with some breeze, there were some golden lotuses, which flew towards Draupadi, and she picked it up and she wanted more to gift it to Yudhishthir. And she requested Bhim, because Arjun was not around, she requested Bhim. And Bhim said, well, I don't know where to find it. So then, she kind of taunted Bhim, saying that if Arjun was here, he would definitely get it for me, So then he became a little, he said, okay, fine, I'll get it. So he went looking for this, and he went right very much into the interiors of this area of Badrinath, where he found this, whole garden. And when he was about to cross that area, he found a huge monkey, and he was sitting, this old monkey. And it's actually Vedic custom that you don't cross over someone's body, because Paramatma is sitting within the heart. It's like leaping over the Paramatma. I mean, even when a deity is there, we don't keep our feet above it, or you'll see the temples by structure have a dome sort of thing, because so that no one can go over it. Even in earlier times, the temple would always have its highest peak, so that nothing is above it. But now it's different with space constraints. We have skyscrapers now. So that time, what happened? So this monkey, he tells Bhim that you please lift up my tail, keep it aside, and then you move ahead, because I'm too tired to move. So Bhim, what does he think? He thinks, monkey hai, bada hai, he looks very different, and he thought that, this tail is hardly anything, and I can break peaks of mountains, so this tail is nothing, and he tries to, he can't. He cannot lift a tail of a monkey. And he tries so hard, and this monkey is laughing, and then he reveals his identity to be Hanuman. And he says that I'm very pleased with your efforts, I'm very pleased with your culture. And he said that I promise you that when you all have a fight with the Kauravas, I'll take place, I'll come and be a part of the chariot of Arjun. I'll take place in the flag. So here we have, in this shloka itself, in the 20th shloka, we have Dhartarashtra, Kapi Dvaja. Kapi Dvaja, Kapi is a monkey, Dvaja is a flag. So a flag marked with a monkey. So that's actually Hanuman. And it's there in Mahabharata that when Arjun's chariot would move, this Hanuman, you've ever heard a cry of a monkey? When a monkey is angry, it's actually very scary. And imagine someone like Hanuman, when he gave out his warrior cries, and actually the people on the opposite side, the soldiers, especially the foot soldiers and all, would get so scared, and they would immediately lose their armor and their weapons, and it was very scary. And this is how Hanuman was a part of the war. Even in the purport, Prabhupada writes that when Hanuman was with Lord Ram, it was marked with victory over Lanka. And here again, Hanuman is there, and his Lord has become Krishna this time. And what is it? Again there is going to be victory. So it's again a good omen for the Pandavas. Now in spite of all these omens, what is going to happen? There's going to be uncertainty lurking into the head of Arjun. He's going to become uncertain. Now what are the reasons for that? We do 21 to 27. At any point of time you feel I'm going fast, please raise your hand. You feel bored, you feel sleepy, please raise your hand. We have a bathroom right here, you can wash your face and come back. 21 to 27, start. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Senayor madhye.
Senayor madhye.
Ratham sthapayamechyuta.
Ratham sthapayamechyuta.
Yavadetani riksheham.
Yavadetani riksheham.
Yodhukamanavasthitam.
Yodhukamanavasthitam.
Kirmaya saha yodhavyam.
Kirmaya sahayodyamyam.
Asmin rana samudyame.
Asmin rana samudyame.
Translation, start. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Verse 23. Yotsyamana viksheham ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. Translation, start. Those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Verse 24. Sanjaya uvacha evamukto rishikesho gudakeshena bharata senayorubhayor madhye स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्. Translation. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. 3 more verses, verse 25. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitam Samavetan Kuruniti. Translation. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Gurus assembled here. Verse 26. Tatra paschat stithan Partha Pitrinatha Pitamahan Acharyan Matulan Bhratrin Putran Pautran Sakhimstatha Swashuran Suradaschaiva Senayorubayorapi. Translation. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. Last verse, 27. Tan samikshasya kaunteyaha Sarvan bandhun avasthitan Kripaya parayavishto Vishidan nidam abravit. Translation. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. So he just spoke a little bit here, just asking Krishna to go to the center of the battlefield, because he wanted to see. What did he want to see? We go back to verse 21. Now we saw what is Dhritarashtra, what type of person is Duryodhan. Now we'll see what sort of a person is Arjuna. Arjuna uvacha Senayorubhayor madhye Ratham sthapayamechyuta Yavadetani riksheham Yodhukamanavasthitan Kermaya saha yodhavyam
केनया सह योद्धव्यम्
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
Translation: Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So what does Arjuna speak? He tells Krishna. Now he's a very special name he uses for Krishna. Did you see that? It's called Achyut. Chuta means fallible. Achyuta means infallible. That means rock steady. Everyone in our lives needs someone, some friend, some spouse, anybody who's rock steady, always standing next to us. Yes? All of us, we love to be alone? No. Imagine if you're stranded on an island for years and years together. Man is a social animal. Soul by nature wants to serve, wants to love and wants to be loved. That's right. Imagine if you have someone in your life who's always a friend, is rock steady, is infallible. So here Arjuna is calling Krishna, who's truly Achyuta, who's truly infallible, because he'll never leave the side of his devotee. So that's why he's calling him infallible, because he knows that what he's about to do now, what he's about to go now is going to give him great distress, is going to give him great confusion. See, he wants that support from Krishna. He's calling him Achyut. He's calling him, O infallible one. What do you do now? He's literally it's like me asking my driver that, chalo abhi idhar leke jao, chalo abhi udhar leke jao. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is Arjuna dealing him with? Like a driver, like a servant, and Krishna is following the orders. This is a difference between a normal person and Krishna. Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsal. You heard his name before? Bhakta is a devotee. Vatsal is loved. Vatsa, this word comes from calf. Yeah, Vatsa actually means a calf. I'll give it later.
She had already given, so she will be coming.
She's coming here? Okay, one place empty. Good.
So I'll give it.
Remind me. Vatsa comes from the word calf. And then when the calf is born, has anyone seen a calf being born? Yeah, Manipur, you've seen it? So, it's actually in Bombay we don't have this thing that, when the calf is born, immediately what does the mother do? Starts licking it. Licks it, and all the amniotic fluid is completely cleared, and actually this licking, the saliva of the mother gives strength to this calf to stand up, and immediately on that very day the calf starts running. What to speak of standing and you see the baby, it takes so many months, a human baby takes so many months to walk, to talk, to do anything. And even mostly the eyes are closed also. You all have children, you all might be knowing. So here, what does the Lord do? This is how the Lord, because He's Bhakta Vatsa, what does He do? He nourishes His devotees, always standing next to Him, and what does He do? Gives us strength. So that infallible is always the Lord, and there's no one else who's like that. So then here Arjuna is so fortunate that Krishna is right next to him. So he takes support in him and he says, now what do I want you to do? Take me to the center of the battlefield. I want to see. There's a chair behind you. There is? Do you have a Bhagavad Gita? That's okay. You come? Can I have one No, I don't need it. There is someone left, luckily for her. Chair bhi hota to kahan rakhte? Where was I? Infallible. Now he is ordering him to take him to the center of the battlefield for what? That's in verse number 23. योत्स्यमानान् वीक्षेऽहम् य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर् युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. translation start. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Sometimes when you are, even in daily life, when you're going on something, and there are sometimes when you have to decide something, some things between right and wrong. And sometimes wrong is so obvious, but somehow people can't see it. And you're imagining that even when that person is wrong, still there's so many people supporting them. How is that possible? It's so obvious that the person is standing on the wrong side. Here, Arjun is having that same predicament. He's wondering, how is it possible that there are so many people standing on the side of Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhan, wishing to please the... He's talking about Duryodhan here, These people are standing there because they want to please Duryodhan. Now, how is it possible? Why can't they see that how this person really is? This is how it's revealed that actually this whole world, let's say that Bhumi, she says that I can take, Bhumi is the Mother Earth, she says that I can take the weight of mountains, I can take the weight of oceans. Imagine if we have one bucket of water and it's so heavy. Can you imagine the weight of oceans? It's huge. This liquid, it becomes very heavy. So she bears even that weight. I can bear the weight of so many trees standing on me, so many rivers flowing on me. But I can't take the weight of liars. I can't take the weight of sinners. And when she becomes overburdened with these sinners, with these liars, what does she do? She runs to the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord arranges everything in such a way that what happens? All these Durbuddhir, as it's given here, what happens? All of them are wiped out from the face of the Mother Earth. And then she becomes happy again. Then she can actually nourish her obedient children once again. And those who are not following the laws of God and torturing the Mother Earth, they are wiped out. That's why there are wars, that's why there are famines, and what's that, that whole ill population is somehow wiped out. That's a whole... Sorry?
I think it's the innocent population is like...
Well, we don't know, that's how karma works. Somehow all those people come together. Some people survive, some people were destined to go there but didn't somehow land up. So it's called collective karma. We do that in Journey. I remember we did that in Journey of Self-Discovery. Collective karma is somehow, it's destined that these people will reach here at the same time. And people with similar karma are wiped out. Or either some become injured or they have a common thing. So Krishna arranges all these things. A similar thing happened when in Dwarka, every time this person called Jarasan. Do you know how many times Krishna defeated Jarasan? 17 times. 17, it's not a joke. Now this person, why wouldn't Krishna kill him the first time? Because he knew he's creating nuisance so many times. It's not easy to fight a war. Because Jarasan was actually doing a service to Krishna. What would he do?
The warriors would die. Kill the evil.
He would gather the evil for Krishna. Krishna didn't have to go hunting each person. Jarasan would gather the evil forces every time, the 70 times. So Krishna just has to stand in one place and Jarasan comes back with more of his friends. Right? And then Krishna finishes them. And again he doesn't, get tired. What does he do? Go again. Again collect more of these nuisances and comes back. And Krishna just wipes them off. So it's a service he's doing for Krishna. Yeah? So this is how Krishna would, every avatar of the Lord wipes out the sinners out.
I have a question. How Krishna landed in Dwarka? I mean, from Mathura and any
Mathura actually belonged. Then he had to move because constantly it was being attacked.
Okay.
Mathura was easy to attack because it was surrounded by land.
Okay.
And in those times, it's actually even archaeologically proven that Dwarka was surrounded by the ocean from all sides.
Okay.
So it was easy to protect his citizens in Dwarka. So that's how they moved from Mathura to Dwarka.
My son had this question, how come Krishna landed straight in Dwarka from Mathura?
He set up his thing in Dwarka and then he moved everyone to Dwarka.
Not all sides, but
That time it was all sides, and then there was a shift in the thing. Sanjay Uvacha? Sanjay Uvacha Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayoru Bhayor Madhye Sthapayitva rathottamam.
स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्.
Translation, start. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjun, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of armies of both parties. And I hope this is not confusing. This is actually a conversation between Sanjay and Dhritarashtra, and he is narrating. And he said that Arjun spoke this, and then what did Krishna do? He took him to the center of the battlefield. So this is what it is. Yeah. Now here Sanjay is calling Krishna something else. Rishikesh. What is the meaning of Rishikesh? Anyone knows? Rishikesha. And then even he actually refers Krishna as Rishikesh and Arjuna as Gudakesh. I won't put it here. I'll put it here. In the purport it is there.
Sanjay is
Mentioning as Rishikesh. Someone who can conquer his own senses is called Rishikesh. Yeah. And Krishna is the supreme Rishikesh because he can not only conquer his own senses, he can conquer senses of others also. He is the supreme controller. By definition of God, we had supreme source, supreme proprietor, supremely independent, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. He can not only control his own senses, he can control even the senses of others, and that's why he is the supreme Rishikesh. So Sanjay calls the Supreme Lord here as Rishikesh, saying that how Arjun seemed to be bewildered, but later on this Rishikesh, who can also control Arjun's senses, will be again, he'll be again streamlined, he'll be focused again to do his duty, that is to fight. And here, sorry, what is Gudakesh? Guda means, I'll read it from here, from the purport it's given more clearly. In this verse, Arjun is referred to as Gudakesh. Gudaka means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesh. That means Arjun wouldn't sleep. Sleep is a synonym, it actually means ignorance. Avidya, Agyan. So Arjun conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. Because he was a devotee. As a devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because that is the nature of a devotee. So either in waking or in sleep, Arjun would always think of Krishna. You know, there's a devotee here, is a brahmachari called Gaurang Prabhu. He cracks a joke. He says that it's quite funny that here in the purport it's written that, you know, Arjun even in sleep he would remember Krishna and chant the names of Krishna. And it's so funny, when we have to chant the names of Krishna, we go off to sleep. The exact opposite position. I don't know what's the opposite of Gudakesh, or you would be called that. You have all, when you come for japa in the morning, you find all types of people. Someone who's chanting very nicely, sometimes who's God, the opposite of Gudakesh. We find it so difficult, but for Arjun it is, he has conquered avidya. Now his avidya, right now he's getting confused, he's about to come to stage of bewilderment. We have to understand that this bewilderment is caused so that Krishna can reveal the Gita to us. It's not that Arjun at all times is above ignorance because he knows the position of Krishna. Right? Here all these things are caused by Krishna himself so that he can give the Gita to us. 25th, Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Translation. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the sons, Gurus assembled here. Now Parth means son of Pritha. Pritha is Kunti. So often Krishna refers to him as Arjun, or the best of the Bharatas, or see, these are the names of, sometimes even Dhananjay, we'll come across Dhananjay. Dhananjay means one who won a lot of wealth. Dhan is wealth. So during Rajsuya sacrifice, Arjun was given the task of collecting funds from all over the world. So he was defeating a lot of warriors and gathering their dhan, so that Yudhishthir could conduct the Rajsuya sacrifice. Yeah? So that's why his name is Dhananjay also. Anyway, coming back to 25th verse. Now what did Krishna do? Krishna is so intelligent. There's so many people standing in the entire, Kuru assembly. What does he do? He takes Arjun right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Why? Because Arjun had a weak heart, especially for these two, Bhishma and Drona. A lot of times you'll face some problem in your life and you know exactly what weakness that problem is pinching, and I know that if this problem I simply suppress or I tolerate and I push it, I just need to do this. You're faced with your biggest fear, biggest weakness. So here the biggest weakness of Arjun is Drona and Bhishma. He has his heart out for them. And what does Krishna do? Takes him right in front of, he could have taken in front of Duryodhan. So kya hota tha? He had been boiling and he said, okay, I'm ready for fight now. Taken in front of Jayadratha. Who was Jayadratha? He tried to kidnap Draupadi once. Jayadratha was the Jijaji of Duryodhan. Duryodhan had only one sister, Dushrat. His husband was Jayadratha and he tried to kidnap Draupadi once. So even if he would have taken in front of Jayadratha, again Arjun would have been boiling. No, things are not favorable. It's what we say, every day is not Sunday. What does Krishna do? Try to put us through fire so that we come out shining. Otherwise, the rust is always there. Right? So here, Arjun is like gold. Now he's put to test in front of Bhishma and Drona. And what does he say? Just behold Partha, there's no one new here. All the Gurus assembled here. Okay, so 26. Tatra paschat sthithan Partha Pitrinatha pitamahan Acharyan matulan bhratrin Putran pautran sakhims tatha Svashuran suradaschaiva So now Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, what did Arjun see? Translation. There Arjun could see within the midst of the armies of both parties their fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and their wishers. So whom did he see? He saw all contemporaries. Someone who had, Ashwathama was a friend. They studied together in Gurukul. They were great friends. Now today this boy is standing. Is it me? Who else is there? There's someone like Shakuni, who is just like a maternal uncle also. There was Shalya, who was Madhuri's brother. Madhuri is the Madhuri is the mother of Nakul and Sahadev. So again, he's like a maternal uncle. He's standing on the opposite side. Who else is there? There's Drupad on my side. And they're also risking their lives here. Their grandsons, their Duryodhan's children. So many of them are standing. For what? To fight. So that we can get our kingdom. Is it really worth it? So Sanjay is narrating this, that he could see. What does Krishna see? Is there anyone new here? No. It's all your relatives. All your well-wishers, all your friends, and all of them are standing here today to fight. And what is the task at hand? It's not a party. To kill them. 27th, the last verse of this section. Tan samikshasya kaunteya Sarvan bandhun avasthitan Kripaya paraya vishtho Vishidan nidam abravir. Translation, start. When the son of Kunti, Arjun, saw all these different grades of sons and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. So here he is called Kaunteya. Sanjay is referring to him as Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. So here there is uncertainty. He feels that, my God, Actually, there's no one new here. All these people I know so well. I have to fight them, I have to kill them. So difficult. And what comes in his heart? Does Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan feel any of these things? Apparently no. Dhritarashtra had not 1, 2, 3 but 100 of his sons on the battlefield. He never felt compassion. He was not even threatened, that my God, if I lose all of them. Earlier times it is said that people would have more children so that even if 1 or 2 pass away, it's okay, the others are still there. Then here it's a big gamble for Dhritarashtra because he's gambled all that he'd had. He has 100 children, he has 1 daughter, even her husband is on all his grandsons are on the battlefield. He did not feel compassion. Whereas Arjun, who's actually righteous, he had to fight. He was left no choice. And he is having compassion. He actually has a reason to fight. He is having compassion. So we do 28 to 30 now. Too fast?
No.
Yeah, we can do 28 to 30 where Arjun is bewildered now. Yeah, now he's going to get really confused and bewildered. 28, 29 and 30 and then we come back. Arjuna uvacha Drishtvemam svajanam Krishna Yuyutsum samupasthitam Sidanti mama gatrani Mukham cha parishushyati. Translation start. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Verse 29. Vepatuscha sharire me Roma harshascha jayate Gandivam sramsate hastat Tvakchaiva paridayate. Translation start. His whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow and lever is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning. Verse 30, the last one. Nacha shaknomyavastatum Brahmativa cha me manaha Nimittani cha pashyami Viparitani Keshava. Translation. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Now verse 28. Arjuna uvacha Drishtvemam svajanam Krishna Yuyutsam samupasthitam Sidanti mama gatrani Mukham cha parishushyati. Again start. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. I'm just reading a little bit from the purport. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. Now apparently, if you see, there was this case, there was one army man who had come to speak to our school children, and he was telling them that how education is not enough. How is that? He was working in tandem with, people who were, some scientists who were creating these atomic bombs. So once after one particular project where they were creating this particular missile, which was, it was an atomic bomb, And he was speaking to the scientist and he was saying that, where do we test this bomb? How do I know the potential? That, how much damage it can do, and how many people does it cover? How much, how much capacity can we cover in the neighboring, not in neighboring, sorry, in the war, not in the neighboring country, in the war. So, what did this person say? The scientist said, well, you all can test it in a place where there's density of population. Then you'll know how many people are killed. And I thought, is this guy mad? If I have to test it, obviously I have to test it in our land. Why would I kill my countrymen? Just for testing. So then these scientists didn't understand his logic. He said, how else will you know? And this guy thought, these guys are crazy, pad ke laboratory mein pagal ho gaye. Then you know what happened? He went and he asked his army guys. And he said, where should we test this? He said, well, you just test it in a place where there is less density of population. There's a greater, flatter land. So then you know how much. So he is thinking, these people are not so educated as these guys are. But you can clearly see the moral advancement of both of them. These guys are so insensitive and heartless. And these guys, not so educated, but still and they're killing every day apparently, which might make them ruthless and hard at heart, but apparently they have a soft heart. They can feel for people. And here, what is Prabhupada writing? He's saying a man with genuine devotion will be soft at heart. Although Arjuna has been through so much since childhood, but still seeing all these people and seeing that whatever happens, they're still my relatives. And he was so soft at heart, he's saying that they have such fighting spirit. Seeing this, what is happening? My body is shivering, it's quivering, and my mouth is drying up. I can't, sometimes they're just speechless, such shocking things happen, you just can't speak. 29th verse. Vepatushcha sharire me Romahashascha jayate Gandivam sramsate hasta Tvakshaiva paridayate. Translation. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. Sometimes when I'm very nervous, what happens? There's sweating on my palms, and whatever I'm holding is slipping. Now for Arjun, for his bow Gandiva to slip from his hand is a huge thing. He's a great warrior. Imagine for a writer saying that I can't write anymore. His speciality was archery. Out of so many other things, Arjun excelled in this. For him to say for something like Gandiv, actually it is said that in Mahabharata it is described, when Arjun fights, it's described that people couldn't see when his hand would go to the quiver, come back and put it, when he has to draw it to the ears and aim and then shoot. People couldn't see his hands. He was so fast. In a minute, he could kill 60,000 or shoot 60,000 arrows. He was that fast. That was his speed. And this fellow today is saying that I can't hold my Gandiv. He's saying that my body is trembling, I'm getting goosebumps, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiv is slipping, and my skin is burning. It's not acidity, it's nervousness. He's just feeling that, what's happening. Verse 30. So all these are his bewilderment. He's getting very confused, and the acidity. Sorry.
Our skin burns when you're angry.
Here he's feeling a huge confusion. There's something called blackout.
Yes.
Sometimes you just black out. You're just blank. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to speak. This is actually a classic case of depression. These are all symptoms of depression. Arjun is slipping into depression, and luckily he has Achyut next to him. That's why first only called Krishna Achyut, because he knew that he's going to go into depression now. So the last symptoms of depression, verse 30. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum Brahmativa cha me manaha Nimittani cha pashyami Viparitani Keshava. Translation. I'm now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Krishna killed Keshi. Now it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, that Krishna killed a lot of demons in Vrindavan. Actually, all of them also have not been mentioned. Almost every day, lunchtime, to get hungry, you have to do something. And then Krishna would sit down, with that, now I'm hungry, now I'm going to eat. What was his activity? Killing a demon. It was right from Putana to after, Jarasan and all of them. Every lunchtime, his favorite pastime was to kill a demon. So apparently he killed a demon called Keshi. That's why he's called as Keshav. Now every demon represents an anartha in our heart. This Keshi represents doubt. He represents doubt. Doubts, like later on also Krishna will be mentioning, I think in the 2nd chapter something, that doubts are like demons. They strangle our faith in Krishna. They strangle our faith in ourselves and our confidence also sometimes. So this Krishna, so Arjuna is referring to him as Keshav because he wants to kill the demon of doubt in his mind. Doubt which has crept in his mind that now of course everything is arranged by Krishna. If Krishna has got him to the battlefield, there must be some purpose to it. Now he's getting a doubt on that purpose of Krishna. He's having a doubt on what is Krishna trying to do here. So he's referring to him as Keshav, that please kill this doubt in my mind. Because here I'm not able to stand any longer. I'm forgetting myself. My mind is reeling. And I see only causes of misfortune. Apparently this whole war is going to give me a kingdom. But I am seeing only a misfortune, no matter what's going to happen. Even if I win, even if I lose, I don't see any fortune, I don't see any reason for me, any motivation for me to fight. Yeah. So from here onwards, there's a turning point where we'll see. 31 to 42 is what we do next Thursday. We'll try to complete, actually we won't be able to complete, we'll complete about 10 shlokas because the important part starts from here. Arjuna systematically starts listing down why he doesn't want to fight.
This starts next time.
This starts next time, next Thursday. He starts giving reasons. There are about 6 reasons. I'll write the acronym now only. It's C, D, E, F, I. 5 reasons.
This is for the B, no?
This is for T. Turning point. We'll be doing it next Thursday. I'll be mentioning it again next Thursday. I'll just write it down so remind me. In case I forget. C, D, E, F, I. C stands for compassion, which is already mentioned. We will be elaborating in more later. D stands for destruction of family dynasty. It's an end. D stands for destruction of E, F, I. Destruction of family dynasty. I'll be mentioning it next time also. Just E stands for E for elephant.
C stands for?
C stands for compassion. D stands for destruction of family dynasty. Do you remember E? F stands for fear of sins. I is indecisiveness. He was not sure that, is this really good? Is this really worth it? I is indecisiveness. F is fear of sins. E, I'll tell you next Thursday. Some suspense I can give. I can't remember it honestly. I'll give it to you next Thursday. Just remind me, I'm not giving you all E.
Fear of sins means something like he's scared of his karma.
Yeah. He's thinking that if I kill so many people, so many innocent people, I'll get sins. Okay, so we stop here. We have 5 more minutes, so we'll chant one small mala and then after message frame give me 10 seconds.
So hungry.